Hello there, album enjoyers.
Dearest album enjoyers, we speak to you now very briefly to quickly plug the Enjoy an Album Patreon, aka Becoming an Ultra.
We are plugging Becoming an Ultra. Not the things that you get by being an Ultra, we are plugging the experience of becoming an Ultra.
If that's not the number one reason to become an Ultra, I don't know what is. No. It's just £5 per month. If you've ever listened to this podcast and thought, I like these fellas, I enjoy listening to their 4 free hours of content that they put out every month, I would like to purchase them a pint or a coffee one time. This is a way of doing that. But you get exclusive content in return.
You get exclusive content in return. You get full episodes on albums such as...
recently we did Grimes
Visions, Ed Sheeran's Divide.
Yes, we did Anoni and the Johnsons. We did the Pogues.
And the Pogues.
We did
Rum Sodomy and the Lash by the Pogues.
The Foo Fighters.
Yeah, that was a sad one.
We did Idols, Black Country New Road.
Yeah.
Also,
Ants from Up Here.
You would have access to the Edinburgh Fringe Enjoy an Album live show.
We done a live show at Monkey Barrel Comedy Club. We fucking ripped it and shipped it. People were saying that's...
People were saying it's one of the best things they've ever seen in their lives, including the Godfather. They said it was better than the Godfather.
People actually did say that it was the funniest thing they'd seen at the Fringe, and they weren't even fucking worms, never mind ultras. They were just like, that was really funny.
Yeah, like...
They didn't even like us as people, and they went, that was funny.
Yeah.
Which is mental.
Yeah, so get on that. You also get ad-free experience.
Some of my biggest enemies have said that that's the best thing I've ever seen.
Barack Obama himself was in the audience. Chris, that was... let me be clear. That was a fantastic live show.
Let me be clear. I hate you. But that's funny.
Zane Lowe has watched it twice.
Zane Lowe, he played it on his... He played the whole live episode.
He dropped it twice in a row.
Just like Barack Obama dropped bombs on various countries.
That was a fantastic live show. So you also get episodes a day early, and you get exclusive access to tickets for live shows when they do go on sale.
Ad-free experience. You don't have to hear this shite.
This shite every goddamn week, and we forget to do a new one every month. So sometimes it's 3 months of the same advert.
Yep.
This has probably gone on long enough. You understand what I'm saying. Become an Ultra today. Patreon.com/enjoy an album. Link in bio.
Just be sound and do it.
Hello and welcome to the Enjoy an Album podcast with Liam Without and Christopher MacArthur Boyd. Before we talk about The Land is Inhospitable and So Are We by Mitski, we're going to have a quick chat about my weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Christopher. You'll be very excited.
What you get up to, huh?
I was in the East End of London, my spiritual home.
All right, lads.
The Old Kent Road. The Old Kent Road.
West Ham.
I was in. I was
Millwall.
I was going. No, that's south of.
That's south. Sorry.
Please, that's part of the reason for our big rivalry.
Yeah.
Other side of the river. Anyway, I was there, and it's my first time going to see the Hammers since we covered Iron Maiden on a Patreon episode.
Sick. That was one of the best episodes we've ever done. Check it out. Become an Ultra to check it out.
And I learned via the episode that there is a pub nearby.
Yep.
Where Iron Maiden played their first ever gigs.
The Coach and Horses.
The Coach and Horses. So I was meeting my two brothers. They said, where do you want to meet? I said, let's go to the Iron Maiden pub. So we went there. It's about 20 minutes from the West Ham Stadium.
Yes, lad.
And it is one of... I mean, I'm obviously not a drinker.
You are sober.
But I've spent many times in pubs over the years. One of the reasons I'm a sober person is perhaps over affinity with pub life.
You love pubs too much.
I loved being a barfly. I loved sitting on a bar and chatting away to the bar staff.
I love being the Camden barfly.
Yeah, I drank a lot in there as well. And what a fantastic boozer this place is.
Oh yeah, good.
Iron Maiden memorabilia all over the
Can I take
walls.
a guess?
Yes.
They serve the Trooper Ale on tap.
They serve every type of... There's loads of Iron Maiden beers. They also sell Guinness Zero, which is, bar none, the best alcoholic-free beverage on the market.
One of the most
apart from like water.
One of the most goated
Water is my favourite alcoholic. Look at a non-alcoholic water, please. And they do food.
Liquid sesh.
I had some lovely chicken goujons.
Oh yeah,
which are goated nuggets, as we know. And just cool Iron Maiden artwork everywhere. But they also have a merch shop.
Yes.
So Christopher,
No! You're joking! What'd you get me?
as a lovely present,
You're joking!
I bought you a t-shirt. There you go. Audio listeners, you can
What
see
the fuck?
it has Eddie the Head on it. It says Cart and Horses.
You know I love it.
That's the
Just
famous
wanna
Iron
touch
Maiden
it.
song, the Robin Thicke cover. The Cart and Horses birthplace of Iron Maiden t-shirt, and there's a picture of the pub on the back.
What?
So I thought you would enjoy that.
Mate.
I have a matching shirt as well. So our next live show, we can wear our Iron Maiden shirts, I think.
I'm wearing this for the Patreon episode we're going to record right after this.
Fantastic. Great. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
buzzing, thank you.
No, you're very
That's
welcome.
the best gift you've ever got me.
Thanks so much.
The rest were horrible.
That's not true.
That big book.
I got you a
That
little life. One of the best
fucking
books.
horrible book.
You've not even read
I
it.
can't take it anywhere. It's like 900 pages long.
Right, that's so rude. Give me that t-shirt back. That's so rude.
Give me the book back. If I knew it wouldn't break your back when you carry it home. You
I think
fucking
I've got
big
you another
book-giving
nice
bastard.
present before.
Yeah, probably. But that's great. That's really nice.
They
you
did-
listen to that Brian Eno record I got you?
No. So they do have. They did have Iron Maiden caps.
Thank you so much.
But considering you lost about 10 caps at the Edinburgh Fringe, I
Yeah.
thought if I bought you that, you would lose it.
I lost my hat this morning as well.
But it's harder to lose a t-shirt. Not impossible.
Not impossible. Done it.
Done
Many
it. I've done it
times.
myself. But
But I
it
went to
is.
see Frightened Rabbit live when I was 16, 17.
Yep.
And I bought a t-shirt there and then I lost it on the way home.
I bought. This is not a good story.
Okay, let's hear it. Love this.
No, it's not embarrassing. It's just shit. It's just shit.
Cool.
I just like, as you said, I bought a t-shirt and then I left it. It sort of triggered that happened to me recently, memory. And then as I started to say it, I went, this isn't a good story.
I want to hear it.
No,
Yes.
I just
Yes,
I
lad.
just did exactly that with a bottle of water on the train.
It's like an anti-anecdote.
Yeah, I know. That's why I tried to bail, and then
It's like, can you? You know, when someone leaves a bottle of water in the train, now you're like, all of a sudden I need to look after this bottle of water.
Okay,
That's you
so
in
let's
reverse.
do the
You're
episode.
anti-can
I
you.
can't believe I've smashed down all of the goodwill I built up with you and the listener by bringing in such a cool present with such a shit story about losing a bottle of water. What is wrong
Where
with
was
me?
the train going?
I was going to Stratford when I was in the good old East End of London.
Come on, you Walter.
Come on, you water. Well, actually, water is a good thing to say in a Cockney accent. Hot water bottle, because the glottal stop becomes
Little stop.
hot water bottle.
Hot water bottle. Get me a meal deal now.
Meal deal.
Meal deal. Bottle of water, prawn cocktail crisps.
I don't think Cockneys are eating prawn cocktail crisps.
They should be.
They eat pie and mash with fish vinegar.
It's part of a meal deal though. You can't go to the boots.
Pie and mash. I'll get the pie and mash. I'll get a Coke Zero and the prawn cocktail skips. That's your Cockney meal deal from fucking Boots. You
Meal
slut.
deal. Anyway.
This is going to be a chaotic episode. I can tell already.
way,
We are covering Mitski.
Mitski. CIA Dad Mitski.
So patrons, you're getting the episode right now. Worms, you've got some adverts. We'll see you on the other side. Enjoy the episode. Hey, are your pubes too hairy? Do you need help with that?
Your groin to hairlicious. Hairsuit.
Is there too much of a positive environment for crabs and lice?
Too much fuzz on your coos.
When you get undressed in front of someone you wish to have a sexual time with, are you embarrassed by the state of your nether regions?
Having an examination done by a doctor and you're self-conscious about how hairy your balls and bits are.
Us too. What a shame there's no solution for this kind of problem.
No, wait, there is.
What?
Manscaped.
Oh my God, what is that? Tell me more.
Not manscaping, not manscaper, manscaped.
Only a stupid person would have called it that by accident
Yeah.
10 times in a row.
Yes.
Only an idiot.
It's the below the belt grooming experience. It's not blade free, it's blade full.
It's bladeful.
It's cut free. You won't
It's
cut
cut free.
yourself. I'm literally closing my eyes in the shower in the fucking rain coming down. I shower in the rain and I'm just not even looking, just buzzing.
If you do look, there's a little handy torch which highlights where you're about to trim. Yes.
I've never used the torch. That's cool.
Yes.
Attached to the
Yes.
the lawnmower.
Yes, there's a light that comes on that shows you exactly where you're trimming.
You can do it in the dark with your eyes closed and you still hit the mark.
You do it dark with your eyes closed in the shower. It's waterproof. You can charge it using USB-C. So you can unplug your phone if you've got a USB-C, plug it straight into your pube trimmer.
You're on a train.
You're ready to go. You're on a train. Please only use these
Your
plug
phone's up to
sockets
75%.
for phones, laptops, and pube trimmers.
That's why they have that sign. Don't do that. But what you should
Sometimes
do,
I go into a coffee shop and I sit near a plug socket and I plug my lawnmower in so that I could jump into the bathroom, keep it fresh all times. I never want to see a single hair on my balls, otherwise I cry.
Yeah, I've got a cock like a dolphin.
It's
Grey.
and endangered.
Just if you want a funny gift for someone, or
It's not funny.
It's not funny. It's fucking
useful.
serious.
Enjoy an album. No, what's the code again? Manscaped
Album
album 20. God almighty.
You get 20% off.
Can you believe we get paid for this? Album 20 for % off your first purchase and ongoing purchases, I think.
If you don't have a cock and balls, you can do it on other stuff, but it's mainly made for the cock and balls.
It's got the word man in the title, let's be honest.
Let's not get into that topic, man, but hey, it's good.
It's good stuff.
The pants are good.
And the underwear, the anti-chafing material is to die for. That's album 20. Don't die for it. Enjoy. Thank you. Bye.
You're listening to Enjoy an Album, the podcast where two comedians listen to some of the greatest albums of all time.
As I got older, I learned I'm a drinker. Sometimes a drink feels like family. Mitski confides with disarming honesty on Bug Like an Angel, the strummy, slow-build opening salvo from her 7th studio album that also serves as its lead single. Moments later, the song breaks open into its expansive chorus, a convergence of cooed harmonies and acoustic guitar. There's more cracked heart vulnerability and sonic contradiction where that came from. No surprise, considering Mitski has become one of the finest practitioners of confessional, deeply textured indie rock. What are you laughing at this week? What have you taken umbrage with?
Cracked heart vulnerability and sonic contradiction, where that came from? You're wondering if there's more where that came from, you're right.
The cracked heart vulnerability
and sonic contradiction. There's just not enough sonic contradiction in our music these days, But Mitski's doing it right.
Mitski's doing it right. That was a... What did I get
Confessional, deeply textured indie rock.
I mean, I'm not arguing with that.
No, that's bang on.
That's hundo pedo percent. So
that's hundo pedo percent.
What did you know about Mitski prior to this week?
Secret pie show. Secret pie
Straight
show.
off.
You do it fast and it feels like Nash show got no money. You got Nash bro secret pie show.
You're jumping straight in. You got shit to say.
I'm leaping in.
Right.
With what I assume is the only thing. Anybody who hasn't listened to it but knows about it knows, which is CIA Dad.
CIA Dad. CIA Dad.
It's a wee bit like a sitcom, isn't it? CIA Dad.
CIA Dad is filmed in front of a live studio audience who were then murdered after.
CIA Dad is filmed in front of a live studio junta.
So it's not actually confirmed that her dad is in the CIA. It is much rumored. So we'll just start at the top. Okay, she was born in the Mai Prefecture in Japan. Which is when I lived in Japan, I didn't go.
You were there for like 2 weeks.
3 weeks. But it's on the way to Kyoto, so perhaps my Shinkansen would have gone through there.
Shinkansen?
Yes. But
you're confusing the Shinkansen bullet train with the onsen steam room.
No, you're misunderstanding me. Okay. I was in a sauna that was on a train. It's called the Shinkansen. Thank you very much. You've embarrassed yourself there. If you lived in Japan, maybe you'd know a little bit things.
I saw the film culture. Bullet Train, right?
There was no baths. Bath train. So her dad worked for the US Department of State. This much we know. So they traveled around the world. So she has lived in, when she was being raised by her parents, in Turkey, China, Malaysia, the Czech Republic, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, formerly known as Zaire. All countries, I would say, with high likelihood of CIA embedding.
A lot of kind of regimes.
A lot of regimes. Depending on the years, sure. Yeah. So she went to Hunter College / SUNY. SUNY Purchase College. They're both actually public colleges. Mm-hmm. So
SUNY's like the Glasgow Cali or Edinburgh Napier of New York.
Yes.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yes, the biggest rivals are the Shiite university.
What?
The Sunnis versus the Shiites. It's like a famous Islamic.
Right.
Yep.
Sounded like you were saying that it was shite.
So this was something I found on Reddit from someone who had done their own research. Reddit.com.
Reddit.com, very familiar, yeah.
So this is
so bright red.
So you have to take this with a little pinch of salt because it is Reddit.com. So it's not, these are.
Can I just say Reddit.com is actually better than Google and
100%.
Yahoo for finding stuff. No offense, that's an inside joke.
I don't know if it's any better than Yahoo. Come on.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
You type in hard thigh tattoos on Yahoo. 0 hard thigh tattoos show up. It's mental.
Reddit though is good. I mean, if you want to find anything on the internet these days, you have to write Reddit into Google.
Yeah. I don't have to because I'm already there because my homepage.
So this was written by a Reddit member, not a music journalist like Christopher or I. What's funny? Okay, so
That's funny.
So this is a summation of Mitski's CIA dad. It says the fact that Mitski has kept so quiet about her parents, as well as the fact that he was a senior level foreign service officer in the consulate in Zaire, aka the DRC, in the 1990. And given that every major country uses diplomatic positions as cover for clandestine intelligence operations, I think it was highly likely he was CIA.
Yeah.
Which I think we can officially say that's what we think as well.
This is saying at the time, Zaire was a base of operations for the United States and apartheid South Africa-led war against the Angola's People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola, the MPLA government.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Well, I decided not to read that because I didn't really understand a lot of it. But do you?
Well, those are places.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
A lot of those words.
They are words.
You sent me an article though, didn't you?
Yes.
What was that?
Which I think basically said what I've just said.
It was not. It was way more hardcore. I've read that article that you sent me earlier today, and it is fucking absolutely insane. This guy's calling Mitski out for many things. It was that thing you just said.
Right.
We meant it. No, she said other stuff. And she kind of calls me out. She kind of Trevor Noah's interviewing Mitski.
Right.
Trevor Noah, the South African comedian,
A host of The Daily Show.
arguably a CIA
a plant. You think?
himself.
You
Could
think
be.
I mean, that is
It
what
would explain how bad that Netflix special was.
the CIA. Wow, the CIA. I mean, that is what they like to do. They like to back people. Put people in charge of stuff who they believe will follow the CIA's every whim.
Yeah.
So you're saying
It's the Andrew Neil thing.
You think Trevor Noah's that?
It's the Andrew Neil
Andrew Neil?
argument.
Yep.
What was that?
Oh, well, I don't know. You brought it up.
The thing where he was like, somebody was interviewing him and Andrew Neil was like, "Do you think I was put here by the government?" And he's like, "No, but if you felt differently about other stuff, you wouldn't be here at all."
Yeah. Okay. So you think that about Trevor Noah?
Censorship. No,
Yeah.
I think that about just loads of stuff. So Trevor Noah says, "What is the message that you're trying to get out with Be the Cowboy? What are you trying to get people to do?" And Mitski says, "Well, when I say cowboy, I don't mean like the working cowboy of today." Which is a mental thing to say because I don't believe that there are cowboys.
Well, I don't know. I've seen your camera roll. There's a lot of cowboys in there.
Shut the fuck up. I literally mean like the cowboy myth, like the Marlboro commercial. There's such an arrogance and a freedom to it that is so appealing to me, especially because I'm an Asian woman. And I think I walk into a room and feel like I have to apologize for existing. And I was so attracted to that idea of freedom and arrogance. And I think it's protagonist of this album, someone like me who feels like they want to embody that energy of a cowboy. And then this guy calls around and is like, the reason that you want to be a cowboy is because your dad's a fucking cowboy. Your dad's a big American man who walks into Zaire and fucking acts like a cunt and walks away.
Yeah,
One
okay.
explosion behind him.
Yep.
Nah, I agree with that.
So okay. So we are firmly of the position that Mitski is a CIA op.
I think her dad was.
But I have to say, it does seem like so. Yes, obviously she's got a little bit of money. Okay. Hey, who amongst us wouldn't?
So that was the best.
Who amongst us wouldn't want a bit of money? Okay. Nothing wrong with having money necessarily.
There is something wrong with being in the CIA.
That's fine. But but Mitski's career, I don't know how much it benefited from
Are you
these.
trying to distance yourself from criticisms of the CIA?
No, I'm just saying her first 2 albums flopped.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
What,
like
Puberty 2 and Bury Me at Makeout Creek?
She self-released albums, and they whilst they were critically did well, people didn't buy them.
Right.
And it wasn't really until later on.
That's what money can do for you, though. It allows you the opportunity to fail year after year, and then once critical acclaim and commercial success come together, dovetail very nicely, then you're like, oh, okay, I'm still going.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. As someone who doesn't have money and has failed repeatedly in his career,
You're just clinging like a fucking gecko. You're gecko coded for sure.
I am gecko coded. Yeah. What was the name? What was that?
Moss.
What was that gecko?
Gex.
Gex. That's me. In the comedy
It's meant
industry.
to have all the famous geckos. I knew what gecko you were talking about. That's the synergy that you only get after 150 episodes of a podcast together. Someone goes, what's that gecko? And you know exactly what one. The one with the bow tie.
So you hadn't really listened to Mitski prior to this week? Is that correct?
Turns out I kind of had.
Right.
Not going to act as if I was into Mitski when I was a teenager. Like
Yeah,
I
no,
do.
my sister actually used to listen to Mitski all the time, but she actually used to play her and I could hear her.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what I
next
said.
room.
Like,
That's a really perfect impression of you.
Yeah, I'm from this place. Yeah.
Your voice hasn't changed at all.
Uh,
You'll continue to talk in the same voice you always do.
okay. That's fucked. But do you know? It turns out I have, because I was doing an absolute deep dive on Mitski, a deep dive deeper than a deep pan pizza at the bottom of the deep sea world
Yeah. Whoa.
tank.
Okay. That's deep.
I was deep. So what I mean by that is I was listening to some of her music,
Yes.
and I was listening.
This is
to,
kind of the levels of research you can expect from this show. You listen to some Mitski for this?
yes.
Wow. Okay.
Sometimes I don't do that. To be fair,
I haven't done that. I'm just saying. I don't admit
no.
that.
I always listen to the album, but sometimes I don't listen to the artist or their work. But
You went to their back. You went deep into. I mean, Mitski's got a lot of music out there. So you listen to some of her older stuff.
I listened to Bury Me at Makeout Creek.
Yes.
Um,
Great album title.
It's a Simpsons reference.
Even better.
Yeah. What's your favourite Simpsons reference in music?
That's such a mad question to just
Mine's-
assume that I would have an answer for.
Mine's Fall Out Boy.
Right.
That's a Simpsons character.
Oh, really?
They were playing a show without a name, and they went, what should we call our band? And someone shouted out, Fall Out Boy! Like the Radioactive Man's sidekick.
Right.
And they went, okay. But they didn't know the posers. We'll get to that. Another episode. What was I talking about?
The deep dive you did on Mitski.
Yeah. So I was listening to Bury Me at Make It Creek. I was listening to Be the Cowboy, which I was asking you because you're a bit of a Mitski fan.
We'll come to that, but yes.
And you said, oh, you should listen to Laurel Hill.
Yes.
It came out like 2 years ago. So I listened to that. And then I was looking and it was like, oh, Be the Cowboy. It was a lot of the Mitski heads on Bandcamp and Reddit.com were saying, oh, this is our best shit. So check that out. And then one of the songs was like, nobody. And I remember I saw a TikTok or something that was like, that was one of those, you know, when you get that song that's like, oh no.
She had big TikTok success.
She's had huge TikTok success with Nobody. And it was kind of like a meme of like, oh, who's here at my birthday party? And then you go, nobody, no. Or who wants to go and get the new milkshake from McDonald's, you know?
The new milkshake from McDonald's.
Yeah, the Grimace shake or something, you know? Okay. So, yeah, you thought that was a stupid example, but that was a thing. So shut the fuck up.
I think it started as a stupid example that you managed to pull a relevance out of your ass for.
No. So yeah, no, I had heard that song and I thought, oh, that's a cool song. And I listened to that this week and I was like, that's a fucking, there's a crazy key change towards the end of it.
She does a lot of crazy key changes.
Yeah. Or like she'll just have a song and then like halfway through the bass it'll get all phased out and you're like, no, fuck, this is class.
And then some crazy synths will come in.
Woo.
She loves that.
That song on Bury Me Make It Creek is a song called First Love / Late Spring, which is a very cool name for a song. And it's like starts off just like very kind of downbeat. Then the organ comes in and then it's like big crazy guitar.
Yeah.
And then there's a fucking like kind of beach housey arpeggiated synth going. I was like, this is sick.
I don't know why. So the first album that I listened to was Laurel Hill, which I now understand was a little bit of a deviation from the sort of music she'd been making prior to that. She was like the sort of sad indie queen, I guess. And then Laurel Hill was synth pop, very poppy. I loved it.
You should listen to Be the Cowboy. It's pretty pop.
I've heard it now, but like, so that album came out last year, and I thought it was fantastic. A lot of
Was
great.
it on your top 10 of 2023? 2?
I think so. I think it was in my
Forgot what year it
Spotify
was.
Wrapped.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the song "The Only Heartbreaker" was one of my favorite songs of the year. Not just one of my only favorite songs of the year, but also ended up on the end of year playlist of a one
Barack Obama.
Mitski.
Junta.
Let me be clear, Mitski.
Let me be clear. Bury me at Makeout Creek. Bombs. How many people...
I wonder if there's any, I mean, look, I'm not a conspiracy head,
I'm not a conspiracy.
but you're telling me Mitski's dad was in the CIA,
Yes.
who presumably worked for Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
And then Barack Obama's
Zaire.
putting Mitski's song on his end of your playlist. I mean, look, we're just putting out. All I'm doing is saying the facts. If you want to make a connection yourself, you're welcome to make
I can't
it.
believe Mitski got nominated for Best New Show at the Edinburgh Fringe.
I mean, everyone was saying. It doesn't matter. But I feel like on paper, Mitski is not an artist that I should enjoy.
Because of your class.
Because of
Loyalty?
yes, as well as, I mean, this is ostensibly a sort of form of depressed teenage indie girl music, generally. But then actually, that is mostly what I like.
Yes. That's what I've noticed.
Yes,
The last year.
that's what I'm noticing right now too.
Yeah. How many Phoebe Bridgers adjacent records have we covered? 3,
Yeah, 3,
2,
2,
3.
2.
I think there was another one that she guested on.
Oh, the National maybe. Yeah, okay. I mean, and they're the sad dads to
They're
the
the
Mitski's sad daughters.
They're the sad dad of a friend to these girls, I think. If you know what I'm saying.
I don't, but sure. So I going into this, I was expecting more fun synth pop,
Right.
and then I was surprised when this album started to hear a more
Plaintive Americana tinged.
orchestral country,
A little bit Nashville.
vibes. That opening song where the chorus comes in, family.
That wasn't a good rendition of it. Do you want to try again?
Family. No, I don't. I
It
think
sounds
it's
like
actually.
the family, that horrible TikTok
How
family.
dare I listen? Listen, it is so.
Imagine that's what she was singing about.
It's so basic to hate family. Okay,
You think it's basic?
I think Chad's love the family.
We should do content like that.
We should do little
We should
matching
go up to the
dances
St. James
with
Centre
my
and
dad.
just go.
For the audio listener, Christopher is dancing coolly. So when that chorus comes in that first song in this album,
Kind of takes you back.
I was like, "Whoa, okay,
What way to start an album?
okay, we're fucking with gloves on."
Fucking with the gloves on. What does that mean?
I think we all know what it means.
It's cold outside.
So yes, so the album, and I mean that is a good. It's a good.
So
opening.
you liked her already,
I liked
but you were
Laurel Hill.
trepidatious.
Not trepidatious. I just, I know that her dad works for the CIA, and we've had issues with that before. Yes. Sorry, I forgot to remind you. I live in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So that has.
So you,
Yes, that-
how long were you there? If you lived in Japan and then you lived there,
I've lived a life.
yeah.
I've lived in as many places
You
as
have been to
Mitski.
Africa?
I have. I've been to Malawi and Tunisia, but not for any political reasons. Just to be
I'm starting to
clear,
think, you might be in the fucking CIA. I can't.
he's lived in Japan, Malawi, Tunisia. Interesting.
Edinburgh, if you want to call it that.
Do you remember when Mitski performed in Glasgow and a video went viral of her telling everyone to shut up? She's on stage and the Glasgow audience is, I have to say, annoyingly going, here we fucking go. And she's like, can I sing? Like that, which people were like, people are just having a good time. But I have to say,
How do you feel about the "here we fucking go" discourse?
well, I think it can be annoying. It's sort of
Forced.
flagellating, isn't it?
Flagellating? Self-flagellating?
Yes.
Whipping yourself? What are you talking about? It's probably the least flagellating thing
Well,
I've ever heard
it ruins the gig.
You think they're whipping the person on stage?
They're ruining the gig for themselves, by singing over the person they've come to see.
You don't sing it over someone singing.
That's what was happening. I mean, I've seen a video today of exactly that happening. Do you know the story about the Billy fucking Idol guy?
What?
So there was this music journalist
Billy.
who tweeted a couple of years ago. I'll have to find out who this is. Love going to Glasgow for gigs, but confused as to why they always sing Billy fucking Idol at the singing. Because he thought that's what people were saying. Billy fucking Idol.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I
Horrendous batter from an Englishman.
he thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's bad of him not to just go, how can you not understand what I'm saying? I know it was me who was shouting it, but
Because, I mean, the Glaswegian accent is... Do you know, so...
people just don't put the effort in.
Not to bring up my friend's show again, okay, but I had a video at the top of the show of myself and you in... it was a clip from this podcast. And one of the notes I got from my previews around the country was...
From me? I gave you this note also. I couldn't understand what I was saying.
Lots of... Well, exactly. If you can't understand
But it's not
yourself-
my accent, it's the fact that I'm a little mumbly ghoul.
Yeah, much like...
Much like a lot of Glaswegians.
Here we fucking go. Anyway, I think Mitski was right to tell them to shut the fuck up. It's
I
annoying.
just think
And Lord did the same thing, I'm sure.
it remained to CIA plant.
I mean, Mitski was Lord's opener for a few years.
The secrets they must have shared about Zaire. And it's juntas.
Backstage
It's
chat.
regime.
Instead of talking about how many people are in or where they're going to get food after, they're talking about disbanded regimes from the late 90s.
Who did your dad take over? It's so fucked up that they didn't like him for that.
So are you being Mitski? Because remember,
They-
Lord is from a Kiwi.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Fuck me, bro.
see when the CIA came to that village, bro? That was so good. I asked him to do it twice.
When your dad was in the Congo, fuck me, bro. He should have overthrew it twice, you know? Fucking hell. The way that you overthrow your country makes me want to just fucking write a song about green lights, you know? I'm like, it's that green light I wanted. That's what my dad's seen when he overthrew there.
It's a solid riff.
So, cracking it. I
Anyway,
found somebody else. Did you know that fucking... This is a fucking deep dive, man.
right.
Do you know Jim Morrison's dad,
What?
George Stephen Morrison,
Okay.
was involved in the... What is this? The Gulf of Tonkin? Do you know about the Gulf of Tonkin?
No.
It was the incident that incited the Vietnam War. And it
Right.
was a false flag by the American government.
But Jim Morrison wrote loads of anti-Vietnam.
Here's my theory.
Okay.
His dad started the Vietnam War to allow his son to soundtrack the Vietnam War.
Right.
The
That's
whole Vietnam War was an inside job by the
ultimate
Morrison
nepo
family.
baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm surprised. Fuck, I bet if you go to Zaire, they're blasting fucking Mitski. They're so sad from the juntas and regimes that they are fucking now sad as fuck to listen to her sad music.
You wouldn't, I mean, Mitski wouldn't like a war zone if she can't handle people shouting, here we fucking go.
Can you keep it down?
Can you stop grenading, please?
Can you stop throwing grenades in my head? Just because my dad ruined your country for the CIA.
She pretended to quit, which is something that a few also LCD Sound System did that, and they have like evil connections as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wonder if there's a connection there. But Mitski said on stage, "This is my last. I'm giving up music." She's released 2 albums since then. She's on tour at the moment. She's actually playing Edinburgh Usher Hall next month.
Is she?
On a Saturday.
Oh, what you doing?
I'll be working, but
Where?
I don't know.
Look at your day.
The support act is what they called. They're called like it was a funny name because it was like weirdly.
Illuminati Hotties?
No, it wasn't that. It was Trust Fund.
Oh.
Yeah, which is a band who then I googled and said they disbanded in 2018. So there's a lot of people who
Quitters out there.
a lot of quitters who are back. It's almost as if people aren't really quitting.
No. Do you think it's a COVID thing though? Of I didn't want to do this and then I couldn't do it and that made me want to.
Someone once said that the only people who actually truly quit in the arts are the people who they never announce it. They just disappear.
They just stop.
And then you only notice when you go, have you seen this person? No. Oh, they just stopped. But the people who loudly go, I'm giving up, they're always going to come back because the very fact that they're loudly doing it
They're
shows the
narcissists.
kind of attention seeking.
It's the type of person who goes, hey, taking a break from Twitter. Not good for my social media, my mental health. Gonna have to take a break.
Okay.
Like you
Yeah.
said that
yeah.
to me at the start of this conversation.
Yeah, I deleted Twitter today.
Yeah, I'm not deleting my account, but I'm taking steps to improve my mental health. Shut up. You get better than me?
Yes.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Let's get a psychiatrist's opinion over who's more mentally well in like 2 weeks' time. You 9 hours a day on Twitter or me without.
Just because I pretend to smoke fags for 100 days, you think you have more mental health than me?
I've got bigger mental health than you, 100p.
No pedo%, yeah.
A big fan of Mitski's. She does short songs, which I think is cool.
It's a short record.
It's like a punk thing, isn't it, to do really short songs?
Yeah.
Black Flag.
Black Flag do it, yeah.
You know, I looked up
Napalm Death have like 10-second songs.
Mitski's shortest song is
Grindcore.
called "Coming to the Water" and is 1 minute 33. The shortest song on this album, "When Memories Snow," is 1:44. I think that's cool.
I like short songs.
It's like bam,
Interludes.
bam. I'm in. I've made a point. Here's a banging riff.
Craft it.
I'm away, and you're like, oh damn. There is that always live and wanting more thing.
I'll listen again. And then you listen again, it gets more wrapped in your head. And
this album, I think, does reward repeat listening. I think
it's also
most
a
albums,
country thing though as well though, because all the country. I mean, I've been getting into the country recently myself, and obviously Mitski has as well. But I've been really getting into it, and there's a lot of country all over this. It's because you were talking about the strings and stuff. So in the kind of heyday of country,
the here, there.
why is it Jordy?
Because Gavin Webster has a bit where he says "Hey Day."
Does he?
Gavin Webster is perfect comic to describe when someone knows how funny their voice is. He always chooses the funniest words, and he says "here, dear."
You make him sound Jamaican.
I know. I realized that as I was doing it.
Okay.
In the country, here, dear.
We're not doing Jamaican voices. We're doing, even though that's probably one of the countries that Smitsky's dad overthrew.
Yep.
In the heyday of country, the Nashville sound brought in the more sophisticated sounds of strings, etc. Whereas before that was the honky tonk.
So this album was recorded in Nashville, where Mitski now lives. So kind of parallels there to Lana Del Rey's most recent album. I felt like that was like
Honestly,
heavy Americana Nashville influenced as well.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I listened to this record and I didn't know that I'd already listened to Nobody and I hadn't listened to her other stuff, Laurel Hill and stuff. And I was like, oh, so this is like the Digimon to Lana Del Rey's Pokemon.
Right.
This is fucking just a sad rich woman taking the music of poor American people and fucking, doing their thing with it.
Right, okay.
Very well.
Yeah.
I like Lana Del Rey and I like this, but I was like, fuck's sake. And it is very country. There's a lot of kind of lap steel and that Nashville thing,
A lot of that, a lot of slide. What's the thing? It's just called a slider, isn't it? That you have in
But you know what they do is they get a lap steel guitar.
Right.
And that lap steel guitar that isn't even shaped like a guitar. It's like a wee box and you go like that. So you're using a slide, but you're not holding a guitar. You're like playing it like it's on a wee table.
I had one of those great things where you listen to an album, and this happens sometimes when you're a music journalist, and you're like,
Come on,
what?
What podcast is?
Is that you listen?
I'm a music podcaster.
Is that I'll listen to it and I go, you know what? This is giving Scott Walker. And then I'll Google Mitski Scott Walker, and there's an interview with Mitski saying, I listen to a lot of Scott Walker whilst making this. Like,
She makes that very easy. Did you see the wee videos on YouTube where she goes like song by song? This is just like something that they do in the fucking to like kind of continue a launch, spread out the launch.
Yep.
And they'll fucking every couple of days they'll put a new video up where she goes, so in this song I was listening to the Velvet Underground.
I heard a lot of Velvet Underground and Nico on this as well.
Yeah.
More Nico than Velvet Underground, I thought.
They were in the same band.
What? Yeah, yes, at one point.
Yeah, so I was hearing that album
Right.
where it was Nico and Velvet Underground. I believe that one was called Velvet Underground and Nico.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was getting big Nico Velvet Underground vibes from that.
There's that song on this, Buffalo Replaced. It's a great name. There's so many good titles. Buffalo Replaced, which that it's got the same riff as that Bonnie and Clyde song, Serge Gainsbourg and Brigitte Bardot.
What does that go like?
Bonnie and Clyde.
Je suis la pizza.
Bonnie and Clyde. But the riff is dun dun dun. Like it's a similar riff. But do woo. And it has a lot. You know that song? Isn't that Serge Gainsbourg?
Gainsbourg head.
Right, okay.
I'm not Gainsbourg pilled yet. Maybe we should do that for this.
Maybe. He's cool. He's a cool guy.
I think he's
Or Serge Gainsbourg. Do you think his parents are in the
CIA?
The what's the French equivalent to the WIA?
Charles de Gaulle. What are they called? Interpol. Is that what they're called?
Sure.
The French police? Secret police? They're Interpol.
French police? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the French police are called. Don't Google it. Come on, Chris. We've got Mitski to be talking about.
All right, you talk about something else, and I'll find out what the French equivalent of the
Mitski.
CIA is.
I'm a little bit scared of this episode going out because Mitski's fans are very intense.
Yeah,
and she's spoken about this and said that was one of the reasons she was thinking of giving up music was that so much people want so much of her. Mm-hmm. And she said she doesn't have, in terms of size, the same sort of fan base as like the Swifties, but in terms of intensity, yes,
it's just as intense.
And you see. I tried to find a YouTube comment this week. I had no luck because you found a good one, but under all of the videos I saw was just Mitski stands going off, going crazy. Just like, Mitski, you're so beautiful. Mitski, wow, can't believe Mitski invented music. And people really love this chick.
This is a long one, but it's one of the most, just a classic. Mm-hmm. Just a classic. There's two. Okay. So I'll give you the first one, which is quite short. And this is for the video, one of those videos where she was explaining what Buffalo Replaced was all about, right? And she said, Mitski Ho Ho was the name of the...
Mitski Ho Ho?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was the name of the user. 16 hours ago. This was fresh.
This is fresh.
Fresh.
There's still steam coming off this comment.
Yeah. Steam flying back up Mitski Ho Ho's bum hole after this one.
Okay. Don't know how they're typing.
On the phone. Okay. Mitski Ho Ho 16 hours ago said, Mitski, please! I'm trying so hard to understand this song. It's so good. The whole album is so good. But I'm trying to understand this song. Can you do a video talking about the lyrics, please?
Right, okay. Desperation.
Really mental.
There was a lot of people who were saying, I think this song is about this, and then relaying their own personal stories over it. There was a lot of that.
A lot of that.
Yeah.
You like stuff like that?
It's good that people are finding, stuff relatable.
But do you think the YouTube comment section is a place to share the hardships of your life?
Not the hardships, and there's a lot of that.
Wow. Oh. This is a video for Bug Like an Angel.
Okay.
Did you see the video with the old lady?
Family.
There's a video where an old lady's kind of stumbling around outside a bar and people are ignoring her.
Stupid old lady.
Stupid fucking old tramp. No, I'll take that back. She's lovely. It's an actress anyway, playing a role. I don't hate tramps. People think I'm like the lady from Lady and the Tramp, the way I love tramps.
Yeah, okay.
I'm always sharing spaghetti with them and kissing them.
Can you read the comment?
Okay. Jade Flores 5416 said, "This really hit me. I'm 25 and my mom is 66 years old and she's been struggling with depression for all her life and has a hard time getting out of bed.
Don't we all?
I always go to check on her and she'll usually vent to me about how she grew up with an abusive mother who recently died in 2021 during COVID, being mistreated and abused by family and friends when she was a kid/teen, and how my dad made her scared of the world and the things she gave up to raise their family and support my dad, who was an alcoholic and was physically abusive to her for years until they both reached their 50s.
This is the sort of comment I was...
They verbally abuse each other frequently now. They almost got a divorce in 2011, but they're still married. She lost 3 babies, stillborn, and had 4, including me being the youngest and 7th child, all boys. My dad got sick one day in 2016 on my senior year of high school and was basically knocked out for months on the hospital bed, basically in a coma. My mom visited him almost every day, stayed there every night until he got better. A few years later, pre-COVID, he found out he has cancer.
Oh.
My mom did the best she could to love my dad, but he never really changed for her, except for not drinking beer anymore. But that wasn't really enough for my mom.
Oh, there's another one. You just swiped to the second page. What is this? Why are you reading this? How dare you have a go at me for giving you the book A Little Life, which is a literal masterpiece, for being too bleak and too long, and then you bring these comments here every week, which about people's fucking dying of cancer and being abused, and then make the listeners sit through it. At least I'm not doing a live reading of A Little Life.
Yesterday, my mom went to the doctor and found out she has a kidney infection. And she told my dad. He was upset, but mostly irritated, and said, I am going to miss a lot of work and money just to make sure you are okay. I'm giving too much time for you guys, and asked for money for gas so he doesn't miss work tomorrow. He can stay home since he gets disability pay. He said a lot of hurtful things to her and done so much damage to her before, but that sentence really impacted her. That night, I went to check on her in her room after being in the hospital, expecting her to vent about everything like usual. I sat next to her on her cluttered bed, and all she did was put her head on my shoulder and said nothing. She was just quiet. I put my hand on her head, resting on my shoulder. She doesn't have to tell me, but I know she feels like she gave up so much time for my dad and our family, and for me. I never seen her so done with everything. She's been broken over and over again. I'm still hurting for her. I wish can do more for her, and that life treated her better. I wish I can give her a better world than this. That's the unhinged YouTube comment of the week this week.
What? Chris.
What?
We need a total shutdown on Unhinged YouTube comment of the week until we figure out what the fuck is going on. You're not allowed to bring comments anymore.
Why?
Because that was so long and sad and such a vibe
People like
kill.
it. People tell me they like it. They go, I love it when you do that.
No one
They do.
said
People
that
say
to you.
that to me.
All right, sound
They
off
say
in the
it's
comments.
so funny if the comment is like so long
No one
and
has,
sad.
no one has ever said that.
Mark likes it.
No, right?
He does. Mark Jennings likes it.
God, that I don't know what to say to that.
We take a look at the album art and we decide if it is good or fart.
So this week's album cover is a picture of Mitski in black and white. It looks like she's either falling, or being, or ascending to heaven, perhaps
From a barn.
It's a black and white picture.
She's in a wood place.
What is interesting though is the font is unreadable, isn't it?
The land is inhospitable, and so are we.
I mean, you know the name of it, so no. But it's a very deliberate.
It's hard to read.
It's a font choice that is
Hard to read.
very
Hard to.
very hard to read. So
You know I love ya.
what is going on?
I'm singing Hard to Beat by Hardfire.
Have you had some of your edibles?
No? I'm just having a good time.
Have you had a weed
Feet out.
gummy?
Feed out.
Feet are out. Is Mitski on Wiki Feet? Is that a new feature we can do? Come on, is that inappropriate to look up someone's Wiki Feet whilst we're here? Oh, there you go. It's in your.
It's my most visited.
Yeah, Chris just typed the word W and the word Wiki Feet appeared in his Google bar.
Come on. I'm not into stuff like that necessarily.
I think it's a nice album. The font is it's kind of interesting, isn't it? I quite like having that be borderline unreadable. It's an interesting choice.
Unhinged Wikifeed comment of the week. Guy said,
If it's a sad story about his mum has cancer, I don't want to know.
I think you'll prefer these.
I think so.
Women of Japanese descent generally have very nice feet. A little bit of racial science when it comes to Mitski's feet.
Eugenics there.
A little bit of... Is it eugenics if it's a positive thing? I would say yes. Mitski definitely is a good example of generally nice feet by Japanese women.
Okay.
Of nice women. Sorry.
Okay, cool. That's according to someone on WikiFeet. That's not our opinion.
That's not our opinion. That's
I've got
Guy.
no thoughts on Mitski's
And by the
feet.
way, see if you find my Wiki feet, just keep it to yourself. Don't read my comments.
Are
out.
you on Wicked Feet? No.
Not since I found out Roscoe's on it.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
What do you think of this album cover?
Yeah, it's cool. It's like, it's kind of fucking, it's got that kind of American, she's in a barn or something, but she's being shaken awake by these horrible nightmares. It's a very sad album. It's a very kind of harrowing album about wanting to be an alcoholic and fucking trying to make deals with the devil, but the devil isn't real because God isn't real. That's on the deal. It's really fucking horrible.
But it is really sad. But she's funny. She's funny, and some of the lyrics are funny. I'm gonna read some lyrics.
Any funny ones?
I don't like my mind. This is a really funny song. Really, I mean, this is like perfect example of millennial humor. I think millennial on antidepressants, too much time on Twitter humor. This is what I think anyway. I don't like my mind. I don't like being left alone in a room with all its opinions about all the things I've done. So yeah, I blast my music loud and I work myself to the bone. And on an inconvenient Christmas, I eat a cake. A whole cake. All for me.
Is that funny or
I think
is
that's
that really sad?
I think it's funny to have a whole cake. I think that's funny to be your chorus.
I about 40 gummies yesterday.
Weed
not
gummies?
No, just.
Are you sure? Because that
Little.
would explain a lot about today's recording.
I think we're good.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think we're a good podcast. And we try our best. Both of us together.
But
I just ate like 40 Lidl's own bread gummies and then I ate like
Well, do
six
you
Sam-made
identify then
cookies.
of like of binge eating to
This
push
isn't
down your
funny.
feelings?
This is really sad.
Well, I found it quite funny.
It's the kind of load that reminds me of. I remember waking up when I was like probably a bit too old. 12, I'd say.
Yeah.
My mum and dad weren't there and my dog was there. And
Yeah.
I was so sure that my mum and dad had left me forever. And I started crying into the dogs for
Oh,
they've
and
left us.
how old were you? 15?
25.
25.
Nah, I was like 12, but I was shirtless.
Still a bit too
I
old.
know.
Be crying on a dog.
I thought they'd left me forever, but they hadn't.
They've just gone to the shops.
They went to Costco. They came back with a big box of Space Raiders.
So what
I
is?
binged those.
Oh right, is that why you brought this up?
Sort of. As someone who binge eats and is very sad all the time, I would say this record's class.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I really enjoyed it. I thought when it first started, I was a bit disappointed when it wasn't as synth poppy as Laurel Hell, which I really liked.
Well, I've been getting it country recently, so I liked it.
And then at first I wasn't blown away, but on the second or third listen, it all kind of clicked, and I began to enjoy it a lot more. I think Mitski,
It's a lot more than just a Lana Del Rey rip.
Oh yeah, no, I think that they're on their own separate paths, songwriting wise. There is some crossover. I mean, they've got a
I think
few.
you could call this record Norman fucking Rockwell.
Yeah, but it's still there is some overlap for sure, but I think there's enough Mitski in it to make it really Mitski. I mean, Mitski's got her own. She does have a unique perspective on life, being a Japanese American woman. Something that Lana doesn't have, obviously. But a lot
Do you
of
think Lana Del Rey has a unique perspective?
not on being a Japanese American woman for sure. But what I mean is that a lot of Mitski's records are about her sense or lack thereof of belonging to either Japanese culture or American culture. She taps into that quite a lot, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah. You don't have to be Japanese to not belong. You know, I don't feel like I belong.
No, but what
You don't feel that you belong here.
But
You're
there are-
Englishmen.
there are-
You don't belong here.
of course there are lots
Sorry.
of very specific songs that she has written which are about race and identity though,
Yeah.
which
But generally, she just talks about not belonging, and it's easy to tap into that as anybody. You know,
yeah,
you don't have to be Japanese.
sure.
Obviously, you lived in Japan.
I'm talking
Probably
about some
consider yourself
specific songs in
Japanese.
which she does talk about race, and this is where I found many YouTube comments are under saying stuff like, "As someone who is Latino, I understood this," and it's about
You don't have to do the voice.
but it's specifically a non-white experience that she's talking about a lot of the time, which I
Yeah.
find very interesting.
Her dad worked for the CIA.
That's true.
Yeah. I actually think that, you know, do you know how I talk about kind of Morrissey being an avatar of kind of repressed masculine, you know, and he's outside, he's an arsehole, but he's like an outsized thing that allows us to live vicariously through that. Him, like a small aspect of herself is writ large by this guy.
Yep.
And you get that for Oasis, you know, that kind of nobody's going to stop me. I'm going to, doesn't matter that I grew up in a council house, I'm going to be the biggest rock star in the world. And he lives that life for you. I honestly think that Mitski lives that for me. Like, the knowledge that even if I did come from a privileged background, I would still be sad.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how good things are going to get. I'm still going to be...
Doesn't matter how many regimes Daddy takes down. I'm always going to want one more.
Don't care how many Congos that man destroyed.
Republic or otherwise.
Democratic Republic or otherwise. And I would say, you know, could have been a bit more democratic and a bit less fucking CIA involved, man, you know. I don't know enough about the situation, but...
Let's do a quick tattoo woohoo.
Okay, so... With two guys reviewing tattoos, they're gonna Google and research and then we'll choose if it's tattoo woohoo or tattoo boohoo. We're judging the ink, yeah, that's what we do. Full sleeve or face tattoo, big skull or wing. Bet you pick the design, is it better just fine? Dragon or up, pretentious up. And you cannot hide it. We will decide if it's tattoo woohoo or tattoo boohoo. Yeah.
You brought in the Iron Brew can for that. I noticed
percussion.
I noticed as you were doing that you're drinking sugar-free Iron Brew. What's all that about?
Didn't have any normal ones left, and honestly, I'm hating it.
Yeah, okay. That's that. It's explained why, as the episode has gone on, you've become increasingly cranky. Your sugar levels are going down. Sugar, we're going down, as Fall Out Boy would say. Is that, it's a Simpsons reference. Okay, so we're going to look at some Mitski. These aren't tattoos at all. These are drawings.
Okay, so for Laurel Hill,
yes,
Mitski, as merch, had a flash sheet commissioned by a tattoo artist inspired by every song on the last record. So I just thought that's kind of an interesting thing, isn't it? For the audio listener.
Okay, so this is your sort of standard tattoo flash sheet. So could people get this at her concerts?
Okay, so this is by a tattoo artist called Gentle Oriental.
Okay.
And what do you think about that?
It's cool. It depends, though.
Well, I remember when I was...
If it's a guy that looks like me or you, I don't know how cool that is.
If it's a guy on Wikifeet who loves... You know, that's an issue, but it's not. It's a Asian American tattoo artist.
I mean, there's some feet on here.
Sure. They have put up a thing saying, please do not, unhinged tattoo request by a tattoo artist of the week. Please do not take these designs to your local artist to get tattooed. It is against my wishes at this moment because I would like the opportunity to tattoo them first. After that, the designs will be made available for purchase as tattoo tickets.
Tattoo tickets?
I don't know what that means. Each piece will vary in price depending on the complexity of the artwork and will range from $50 to $125. So it was kind of like a flash sheet. And
right, so that's a collab Mitski's done with a specific tattoo artist.
Specific tattoo artist called Gentle Oriental.
You know what, though, right? This is kind of annoying because Mitski spoke about how...
Mitski doesn't have tattoos.
Right.
Yeah.
So she spoke about how difficult she found having the fandom that she does and how that basically encouraged her to want to give up music entirely.
It's too much. The one-sided parasocial
But she's asking people to fucking tattoo pictures of her onto their arms.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, you know.
She wants her cake and eat it too.
I love that one. Look at that. A lamp. I'd love a tattoo of a lamp. Okay, let's just go through them. You got an open window. You got a woman dancing in a red dress. You got flowers, which could be the Laurel Hill, the titular Laurel Hill. You got hands touching each other. A switchblade. Feet. Wicky feet. A woman drowning or floating, and then a woman going against the float and walking towards a lamp that everybody's walking away from. You got clouds, and you got love hearts. I think they're all pretty sick. I like this style.
They're all really cool tattoos. I think it's just weird to... The way this has happened is always... Yeah.
Would you get tattoos, a flash sheet made for your friend's show?
No. If I knew a tattoo, I don't know.
That's a cool idea, isn't it?
I think there's
we should enjoy an album tattoo.
And enjoy a flash sheet. Mm-hmm. Right, but I would. But then if someone turned up,
Jan Venner's racist ass with
we
black
haven't even
eyes.
spoken about that.
No.
If we turned up to a show one day and someone came up and went, "I'm a big fan of the pod," and then showed you an enjoy an album tattoo based on the flash sheet,
you
would freak your nut, and not in a
Positively.
good way. Negatively.
Depends. How close are they?
They're standing right next to you.
Right, but they're really close.
They're really close. They're up in your grill.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
But see if someone was like
trying to kiss you on your
foot.
nose. Look at my
I like
tattoo.
that. That's a nice feeling when people do
They've
that.
tattooed the inside of their lips to say enjoy under the top lip and album under the bottom lip. So when they open their lips,
Yeah,
you can see it.
that's cool. The sellotape.
But they've got enjoy
Just walk around.
upside down by accident, so it doesn't look good. And they're going to give me a kiss. It's been a good week.
This is good. The refs this week. Does Tony Iommi fucking produce this?
That's it's I don't know. I guess it's a woohoo because
It's
they're
a
cool.
woo
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm a bit scared, Jan. It's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, isn't it? But I mean, listen, I would get a frightened rabbit tattoo.
If they designed it,
No, he's got loads of drawings. He went to art school, so I've bought a collection of his books. I think Scott Hutchison kind of struggled with the adoration,
yeah.
among other things.
I just think it's a little bit hypocritical to ask people to get tattoos of you and then complain when they're
She's a
fans of your
hypocrite.
work.
He's like, I'm so sad. Oh, look at your dad.
She is a lot like you.
Who, Mitski?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have really enjoyed getting into Mitski this week.
Just never fucking happy.
Regardless,
Given everything.
everything you want, and then, well, guess what? I like kill myself all the time, regardless. So shut the fuck up.
Ah, Christopher, please don't kill yourself.
I'm not going to kill
Let
myself.
me just say that publicly. So that if you do,
This is
I'm covered.
He doesn't even care. He just doesn't want. Oh, I'm going to get another friend show. My dead friend. Whatever.
Maybe then they'll fucking pay attention to me. That would be you know what? That would be the greatest gift you could give me.
I've been planning my Roscoe's Dead show for 5 years. My friend, the skeleton who died. He was literally doing the skeleton act, and I was already fantasizing about his death, so I could do a show about it. So get in the fucking queue. Anyway, did you like this album?
I loved it. And so that's Two on the Bounce for me and Mitski. I had a bit of a listen to Be the Cowboy
Class.
this week as well. Very good.
That's good shit.
She is someone who I think we spoke about this with Black Country New Road as well. I think I'm always going to check out what she's doing because I think it's always going to be pretty interesting creatively. Lyrically, I think she's one of the best around at the moment.
Some of these lyrics are fucking unreal.
And also, yeah, it's sad shit, which we like. There's
We're
a few
two of the
bops.
saddest guys in Scotland.
That's true. So yeah, I liked it, and I would recommend it. Would I recommend it as a first Mitski listen? Probably not. Probably start with Be the Cowboy, then go Laurel Hell, then go this.
This is for the real heads.
But I also think Mitski's got enough good stuff, and so many songs are under 2.5 minutes. Then you might as well just put a Mitski shuffle. And
You're
just,
brevity pilled these days.
Well, I like lots of long stuff, but they have to warrant their longness.
Here's the thing. Either be a minute and a half or be 12 minutes.
Thank
Don't
you.
fuck around with 3 minute song like an idiot.
Like everybody else in the world.
Yeah.
You think you've got 3 minutes to spare? Yes. But I could listen to 2 Mitski songs in that time. Or a quarter of a
You've
Godspeed
already
song.
read this out, but I want to read it out differently because you were reading it out kind of happily and like, this is funny. I don't like my mind. I don't like being left alone in a room with all its opinions about the things I've done. So yeah, I blast music loud and I'll work myself to the bone. And on an inconvenient Christmas, I eat a cake.
You telling me it's not funny?
It's funny.
I'm going to put that song on the playlist.
Ugh, I'm going to stick on The Deal. It's great. She's out late at night. She wants to do the bluesy crossroad thing, the Robert Johnson thing, where she says, "Hey, devil, where are you?" There is no devil. She's got to fucking figure out herself. And then a bird speaks to her. It's great. I speak to birds quite often.
Yeah, that's true. And your song I would also like to put in playlist is The Seventh Seal by Scott Walker. It's from Scott 4, and it is a big Americana country. It's like Mitski. It's cool.
Scott Walker's cool. We should do Scott Walker.
Yeah, big influence on the Arctic Monkeys also.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stick on the song by Jim Morrison where he wants to. Apparently, his dad wasn't like too keen on the song where he said he wanted to kill his dad and fuck his mum.
He wasn't crazy about
He
that.
was like, Jim,
let me be clear.
let me be clear.
That is inappropriate, Jim.
You cannot kill me and fuck my wife.
Melania?
Imagine Barack Obama's daughter
What? Where is this going?
singing that song.
Oh, yeah.
Karaoke. And Barack Obama's in the crowd like, what the fuck? Morning. How crazy must it be for you to be a high-ranking military official who, some say, started the Vietnam War?
Some people are saying that.
People are out. I was in the pub the other night.
I was down in the pub. Everyone's saying it.
Everybody was saying Jim Morrison's dad's triggered the Vietnam War as a
Yeah.
false flag.
Yeah.
Imagine that's happening. And you're stressed out your box with that. Next thing you know, your son is writing a 10-minute long song about wanting to fuck your wife, who is his mother, and kill you, who is his father.
This guy can't catch a break.
You'd be like, I just can't get a break these days, man. I'm at my nut.
My dad wouldn't cope very well with that.
My dad would struggle.
People were getting some bad haircuts that day.
Uneven
he's
short back and sides
stressed.
and Baleson that day for sure.
But believe it or not, that brings us to the end of the episode. It's been a sterling week.
I enjoyed
here.
that. I enjoyed an album.
I enjoyed it big time. Might go see Mitski in the Usher Hall. Probably sold out. Probably gigging. But if I wasn't, I would be there for sure.
I'm going to go see the National next Sunday. It'll have happened.
Nice.
Probably by
the time this comes out. Okay, excellent. Enjoy your week.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming along for the Enjoy an Album
listening to
party
this.
this week. We love you a lot, and we hope you've
I
enjoyed.
love you a lot.
We sure do.
You're doing this shit with the tattoos. You're trying fucking
First
make
person to
people
get
fall
an
in love
Enjoy
with
an
you.
Album tattoo will get a kiss on the lips from Chris.
No, true. No, I'm not allowed to do that.
No, true.
No, true. No, I'm not going to do that. And don't get one. What are you doing?
I've got a coffee. Okay, let's
laughing like a freak.
finish the
So we
episode.
can finish this. Peace and love in the new millennium.
Bye.